and a mother-in-law. And a rare as gold. So cheers to Linda. Before I begin, I also want to thank my wife, Lindsay, for having this great idea. Lindsay is very thoughtful, she's very organized, and more than organized, she is kind. But the organization comes into it because months ago, she says to me, you know, your parents' anniversary is coming up. I said, yeah, probably. Every year. And she says, yes, but it's their 50th anniversary. Don't you think we should do something special? And I went, ooh, probably. That sounds great. And so in her way, her very efficient way of getting information, she just started talking to my mom and said, so, wow, your anniversary, this and that, where did you go for your reception? Oh, I don't know, Carroll'S in Medford. It's not even there anymore. And so Lindsay went, oh, that's nice. And so through Lindsay's kindness and ingenuity, this event has come to be. So thank you for your thoughtfulness and everything you do. All right, to these two. I tried to prepare this more, but I was preparing it on the way here, and Oscar was much more interested in talking about the Disney music on the radio. Why do cars have tires? Why is that an airplane? So I'll do with this what I can, but what I want to revisit is a story that a lot of you have probably heard over the years of when my parents came to visit us in Los Angeles. Lindsay and I lived in LA, and if you haven't been, Los Angeles is as different a place from Boston as you can get and still be in the same country. It is very disjointing to be there for the first time, and so my parents had come to visit, and I was driving them around, showing them around, and you know, day one was fine, day two, we're all getting, okay, this is fine. Day three, I had a full-blown argument with my father that, you know, there are no Dunkin' Donuts in LA, so if you want a nice coffee, you just have to go to the Starbucks, and it's not a life choice, it's just a nice coffee. So, one of these days, my parents had sort of lost their sense of adventure and just wanted a lunch they could count on. And so there was a diner around the street from our house, and they were eager for familiarity, and I was eager to let them have it on their own for an hour. So I dropped them at a diner, and I go to meet Lindsay at work so I can eat with her, and we're going to have a nice little lunch together. Well, Lindsay and I go to this fancy place with organic, sustainable, vegan, blah, 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 and I leave her, and I go back to find my parents, and they're not at the diner that I dropped them off. And I start texting my mom, and she goes, via text, we're across the street at the cell phone store. Your father insists we're getting phones. Now, Los Angeles, you can't walk anywhere. I mean, so to get from the diner to the store is 8 lanes of traffic in 2 directions. But they're in there, and okay, they get the phones, and we all go back to my apartment to sort of regather ourselves and figure out what we're going to do with each other for the afternoon. It turns out what we're going to do is program these phones and take apart every bit of plastic and paper and chargers and earbuds and the manual, which is promptly thrown in the garbage. And as this is all going on, I start wheezing and going, I ate something that I don't feel that great. I'm sure I'm fine. Okay, so what feels like hours go by, and by the time Lindsay gets home, I am laying on the couch with a fan blowing on me. I've been rubbing my eyes, and now they are looking like a hammerhead shark in 2 directions. My armpits are swelling, the backs of my knees are swelling, and I am in full anaphylactic shock. Does this bother my parents? No! Because they are programming these phones. And so, my mother is on one side of the couch, my father's on the other side of the couch, and it's time to program the voice dial. And what do they want to program? Johnny. Shit. Johnny. Shit. Corinne, give me yours. Artty, no. Corinne, give me yours. Johnny. Beep, beep. Bam. Shit. Artty, it's not gonna work. Give me. Stop your noise. Stop it. Give it to me. Give it to me. Give it to me. Artty, stop it. And I'm on the couch with the fan. So Lindsay comes up from work, going, "Hey, everybody, what? what is going on in here? She assesses the situation and finally realizes it's time for her to drive my parents to their hotel, and we'll try everything again tomorrow. This story is funny on its own because of the antics between my two parents, but I deliver it today again as an example of a wonderful marriage. So here we go.
What did you eat?
Didn't you go to the hospital?
I did not know the phones needed to be programmed. There's no hospital. So, a sense of adventure. To be standing perfectly happy at a diner and know your son is coming back with the only car that you have access to in the entire city of Los Angeles, and still to see a distant cell phone store and wander across 8 lanes of traffic. That's adventure. A sense of loyalty. My mother didn't want phones. She did not want to toddle across 8 lanes of traffic into a cell phone store where my father was, of course, going to sign the papers because the guy seemed nice and he had a face, so... She wasn't filling out divorce paperwork, she was filling out phone contracts. Loyalty. Optimism. The idea that these two could program these phones without the manuals and without any understanding of what it takes to program a phone. Here's a direct quote from that time. Oh, great. What the hell's a Bluetooth? Something else I gotta buy? A sense of unity. Speaking with one voice. Even though to program my mother's phone, it would have to be her voice in the phone. My father felt that he should program her phone with his voice so that forever she could never use voicemail. That's sweet, in a way. Devotion. The only number they wanted to program, Johnny. Oscar. When am I going to be done? Soon. And trust. Trust in the universe that their grown son, who is in anaphylactic shock 10 feet away from them, is not going to die while they're programming these phones. It's just a sense that everything's going to be okay. And grace. Not only the grace of Lindsay to come home, assess the situation, and ferry them out of there so that I could die in peace, but also grace on their part to go, oh yeah, all right, I guess we'll take this home then, to the hotel. And they bundled up and everybody agreed to do it tomorrow. So you get adventure, loyalty, optimism, unity, devotion, trust, and grace. And all of those qualities together really make for a lasting thing, like a 50-year plus marriage. But the most important quality, a sense of humor. They instilled it in me. My lovely wife came with one already. And they have laughed at this story every time I've told it. And so, cheers.